Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It's Jamar from Vegas Scents, and in this video I'm going to be going over a new fragrance from Fragrance World. This is actually going to be one of their original creations. This fragrance is going to be Yuzu by Fragrance World. Alright, so if you're interested to know what my thoughts are on this fragrance, then definitely stick around for the whole video. And also, to anyone brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And also, to anyone watching, leave a like and a comment on the video. All right. So Yuzu, to my knowledge right now, Bandier Fragrance is the only shop, at least here in the US, that is selling this particular fragrance. Also, this was sent to me for free by Salim over there at Bandier Fragrance. So definitely grateful to him for sending this to me. However, just definitely keep in mind that my thoughts on this fragrance are going to be definitely my own. Him sending me this fragrance for free will not, influence my thoughts on this fragrance in any sort of way. All right. But what I can say is this is definitely one of the better fragrances, I would say, that I got out of the four fragrances from Bandier Fragrance. So just to kind of go over the notes in this fragrance, the top notes of the fragrance are bergamot, yuzu, and tamura pepper. In the mid, you have rhubarb, green lemon, and geranium. And in the base notes, you have musk, cedarwood, and cashmere wood. So pretty much when you spray this on initially, you get like this really sort of natural smelling. It kind of smells like lemon, I would say, which pretty much that's what yuzu smells like. Yuzu is just actually, it's like a more sort of bitter sort of lemon that I think, grows over in like Japan or China, something. It was one of those Asian countries. But that's pretty much, that's what it smells like. It smells pretty much like a lemon. And this isn't like, at least in my opinion anyway, this doesn't come across as kind of like that sort of lemon pledge smell that you get with some fragrances that have the note of lemon. So it's not like that sort of lemon and like Club de Nuit Intense Man. This is, in my opinion, it's a really well blended, natural smelling sort of lemon. All right. So you get that. You get like this sort of, underlying sort of freshness as well from the bergamot with this. I don't really get too many peppery aspects of this fragrance, but what I can say is one thing that I do sort of get from this when I smell it, at least up close anyway, is it does give me sort of like, vibes of having vetiver in the fragrance. So I can definitely say that it does smell like it has some sort of vetiver note in the fragrance, even though that's not listed. And then pretty much, I would say for the most part, even though you're getting, that sort of tartness from like the lemon, the lemon and the yuzu, and then you're sort of getting like a sort of greenness, from that sort of vetiver smell that I get from this fragrance. It does have a slight sort of sweetness to it as well. It's not super strong or anything like that, so I'm not saying that this is like a sweet fragrance at all, but at least on my skin anyway, I sort of get like a slight sort of sweetness from this, which I think balances the whole fragrance out pretty well. Because otherwise, I think without that, this fragrance, it would be pretty tart and sour. So that, at least on me, is not how this fragrance comes off, which I really love. Now, also in terms of this fragrance performance, for this to be, just pretty much like a sort of citrusy sort of fragrance, this has very, very good performance. I would say even beast mode. I made the mistake the other day when I wore this fragrance of spraying this like over 10 times. I think it might have been like 12 times or something like that. And I would say within like that first hour or so, I started to get a headache because it was a lot. The way that this pushes off of my skin anyway, it pushes pretty hard. And I mean, when I wore this, it wasn't even like it was like a super warm day either. So it's not like, you know, my body was heating up and sort of activating the fragrance and, you know, making the fragrance project off of my skin. It was pretty cool out here, at least for, you know, Las Vegas. And like I said, I was still getting a lot of push from this fragrance in terms of projection. So projection wise, this is going to be a beast. I would say, you know, even in the spring and summertime, I would say probably maximum all you need is about maybe 5 to 6 sprays of this, and that's really all you need. Um, in terms of the longevity wise, I'm getting at least about 9 to 10 hours or so out of this fragrance. And I mean, this fragrance, I believe the manufacture date on this was like either this month or last month. So I mean, you know, I don't have the box right here in front of me, but I believe, you know, it's been manufactured within at least like the last month or two. So it's not even necessarily like this fragrance has been like super macerated yet. So I can only imagine, you know, by the time like next spring and summer comes, I can only imagine how strong this is going to be, you know, when I spray this. So performance wise, like I said, this is an absolute beast pretty much. Now, in terms of when I would recommend that you wear this fragrance, pretty much in any sort of occasion when I would say it's probably anywhere from like 60 degrees and up pretty much. That's when I would recommend that you wear this. Now, I would say that, you know, again, in the summertime, especially, you know, if we're talking about like high heat situations, like 90 to 100 plus degrees, maybe go a little bit lighter on the sprays with this, because like I said, this is very strong. At least, you know, it was on my skin. And I could see how maybe a lot of people, when they first spray this on, they wouldn't necessarily consider this to be a strong fragrance, and they would maybe go 10, 12, 14 sprays. If you can take that, then, you know, more power to you. But at least for me, this was, it was a bit too much when I sprayed that much. So at least for me, I'm probably only going to spray this maybe about 4 times when it really gets hot out here, you know, like 100 plus degrees. So definitely just keep that in mind, you know, that this is a sort of projection monster, you know, when it comes to the performance. So I would say, again, it's going to be spring and summertime. Casual, for the most part, is when I would recommend, you know, wearing this fragrance. It doesn't have like a super sort of mature or elegant sort of, you know, nature to the fragrance. I think this is just a really sort of easygoing, casual, sort of spring and summer dumb reach type of fragrance, you know, where you want to smell good, but you want the fragrance to last for the whole day pretty much. That's, I would say, when you would wear this fragrance. All right. In terms of the overall rating that I would give this, in my opinion, is a solid probably 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Especially for the price. So on VanityFragrance.com, this is going for $44.99. And once again, you know, you can use my discount code VegasSense10 to get an extra 10% off of that. But I think for a 100 ml bottle, for a really long lasting beast mode projecting, you know, sort of citrusy, fresh fragrance, I think that's a really good deal. You know, you get a magnetic cap with this particular bottle. It's not strong enough to pick the bottle up by the cap, so definitely be aware of that. But obviously, magnetic caps are, you know, definitely a nice touch. The atomizer on this is okay. It's not the best atomizer, but it's also not the worst. But, you know, just overall, like I said, this is a very solid fragrance. I would say definitely pick this up, you know, if you see it in stock on VanityFragrance.com, because recently this was out of stock for probably about a week or so. And so I see he does now have this fragrance in stock again. So absolutely pick this up. I do definitely recommend this, you know, again, as a really nice sort of spring and summertime freshie. So, you know, definitely let me know what you all think of this fragrance. Have you all actually smelled Yuzu by Fragrance World? What fragrances maybe would you all sort of compare this to? At least for me, I don't necessarily compare this to anything else that I've really smelled before. But I'm sure that there could be other fragrances that this does sort of smell sort of like. All right. So definitely let me know in the comments, you know, if this reminds you of another fragrance. Let me know if you like this fragrance. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it just okay? Let me know in the comments. And once again, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And again, that's Jamar from Vegas Sense. I'll see you on the next video.